The Black Templars. The Black Templars are the most tolerant of the Space Marines. No, they're not. No, they're not. Who are the Black Templars? Well, the Black Templars, some have argued, perhaps the hidden form of the angry Marines who are always angry. But I think the Black Templars always get a bad rep. I like them because, first of all, they gave this to the Codex Astartes. Okay. Number two, they gave this to the Codex Astartes. And number three, this is what I think of Leonidas. Okay. There you go. Everyone's kind of laughing at him because Captain Titus got his groove back. And so the Black Templars, they are the sons of Rogel-Dorn, his rage, his fury. And they are, dare I say it, a non-codex compliant chapter with supposedly Mundus Plainness, 8,000 Space Marines. If you understood the reference, I know. I miss text-to-speech device too, okay? I miss TTS, all right? I miss it. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. We'll somehow live through it. But this is a video from Guilliman-Dorn with only 45,000 subscribers. Hello. Give them 100K subscribers right now. Original link to the video is in the description box below. And give it a like. All right. So there you go. So let's enjoy this for the holiday season with festivity, tolerance, understanding, social community, upbringing, and so much more. The Space Marine chapter that embraces tolerance, cultural diversity, and everything else in between. You know them, you love them, and I hope someday for the privilege to maybe be a voice character for a Black Templar. The Black Templars themselves. Grimeldus will be proud of you, as he should be.
Welcome to today's episode, where we're taking a dive straight into the Black Templars, the Space Marine chapter that gives exactly 0 fucks about rules or, well, anything really.
Yes.
If there's a definition of big dick energy in the 41st millennium, it's these guys. Guilliman's Codex Astartes? Yeah, they use it as toilet paper and then...
Yeah, pretty much. But it's not that they chose to, it's just that they have to.
Flip him off as they head out on yet another crusade. I mean, why follow boring rules when you can exploit one loophole and just crusade forever? To top it all off, the Black Templars are basically the
okay. Now that's not a fair comparison.
Galaxy's edgiest racists. They've made it their life's mission to hunt down minorities, Xenos, Psychers, basically anything that isn't 100% Emperor approved, and wipe them out. But hey, when you're committing genocide in the Emperor's name, that's got to make it okay, right?
It's called cleaning service. That's all.
But to really understand how this unhinged murder squad came to be,
Oh yeah, because of the bald boy himself, Horus.
We've got to rewind back to the aftermath of the Horus heresy, when things went from bad to holy shit, this is a mess. After Horus threw his galaxy-shattering temper tantrum, ending with the Emperor in a golden wheelchair for eternity, Roboute Guilliman came down with some serious trust issues. He wasn't too thrilled about any one dude having control over an entire Space Marine Legion anymore. So, Guilliman came up with the bright idea. Yo, let's break these bad boys up into smaller bite-sized chapters.
No.
That way no one has too much power and starts acting like...
Here's the thing. What I like about Guilliman now, because everyone gives Guilliman so much crap. Like, okay, yes, he got very lucky to be raised on Macrab and the realm of Ultramar, and of all his Space Marine brothers, he had a loving, warm household of a mother and father, and he was tutored by the best. But at least he knows now, with Ultra Depression in the 42nd millennium, that he realized he made some mistakes. So look, he gets a lot of crap, he gets a lot of hate, he gets a lot of heat, but I think at the time Guilliman thought he was helping. It was a mistake. And even he acknowledges that much. Why do you think he's trying to restart the realm of Ultramar? I think he's made some mistakes and he's sorry about it. Okay, he's just very, 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 very sorry. Guilliman gets a lot of crap for no reason. Of all the Primarchs to come back, I'm glad it was him first. Okay, it was him. It had to be him. Okay, I like Rogel-Dorn too, but Guilliman's our guy.
Horus Jr. Some of his brothers were like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. But others, they were more in the absolutely the fuck not category. This included the Primarch of the Imperial Fists, Rogel-Dorn, who firmly told Robbie G to piss off. You see, Dorn straight up thought Robbie G was a complete pussy for not showing up to the party during the defense of Terra. You know, the one where the Emperor got roasted into a vegetable. Meanwhile, Guilliman thought Dorn was a rebellious little shit for refusing to accept his new Codex Astartes. The beef between these two was already sizzling on the grill, and neither was about to back down. Dorn was so stubborn about keeping his legion, the Imperial fists intact, that it nearly kicked off a full-on civil war within the Imperium. Imagine being so dedicated to not following the rules that you almost cause a second heresy. It wasn't until things got really ugly that Dorn finally agreed to Guilliman's plan. And thus, the Black Templars were born.
Wow.
The very first of the Imperial Fist's successor chapters, and naturally, the ones most likely to throw the Codex Astartes in the trash and keep the fight going forever. And who would lead this new chapter of crazy motherfuckers? Only someone insane enough to match the energy. Enter Sigismund, the OG badass and the Black Templars' first High Marshal. This dude was so good with a blade that giving him a gun would have been a handicap. During
Get that out of here.
the Horus Heresy, Sigismund wasn't just a combat prodigy, he was a straight-up beast in melee and was Rogel Dorn's right-hand man. However, there was a time when Dorn actually disowned his golden boy, Siggy. Yup. Even Space Marine bromances hit rough patches. The drama kicked off when Sigismund met Euphrates Keeler, one of the first living saints. She
Oh boy, what happened?
hit him with a prophecy that basically said, if you leave Dorn's side, you'll die alone in some random backwater system and achieve jack shit. But if you stay, you'll be a total badass. But the galaxy will be in a constant dumpster fire of war forever. Naturally, Siggy had a dilemma. Either go solo and flop, or be a pussy and stay with Papa Dorn and doom the galaxy to eternal cosmic warfare.
Cosmic warfare.
Soon after, they were hit with some grim news from Isstvan V. The Salamanders, Raven Guard, and Iron Hands had all had their cheeks severely clapped, leaving Ferrus Manus a solid foot shorter. Or should I...
Ugh. Fulgrim. What a little punk. I'm going to listen to the sword because it tells me I'm pretty. There, spot on impression, Emperor's children. Spot on impression of your Primarch. There you go. And Clone Grim would have been just as worse. In fact, he would have been more insufferable.
say a head shorter? To add salt to the wound, the Iron Warriors, Night Lords, Alpha Legion, and Word Bearers decided to join Horus's fan club. It was like an evil team-up nobody asked for.
Ugh, word bearers, yeah, a bunch of nutcase religious boys, world eaters. I don't know. Your pops had anger issues, guys. No one held a gun to your head to put those butcher's nails in your head. You stupid morons. Oh, the Death Guard. Buy some soap. And Night Lords, say that your Primarch was bipolar is an understatement. There was a lot wrong with that guy. And Night Lords, you just did it just because. There. I said it. I said it all. I ripped off that Band-Aid. And as for Magnus, you're a bookworm.
Yeah, it was a serious bad day in the office. Rogel Dorn would command Siggy to lead a retribution fleet to aid the Loyalists to destroy Horus. But Siggy was like, no, I want to stay with you, Dad. And Rogel was like, fine. Sigismund finally caved and spilled the beans to dear old Dad Dorn. He explained why he stuck around, because, you know, prophecies. Naturally, this triggered Dorn, who was basically the Warhammer equivalent of a Reddit atheist. Turns out, Sigismund had discovered religion after a cozy little chat with Keeler, and now he's out there talking about destinies. Dorn viewed this as a massive betrayal of the imperial truth that his brothers and the Emperor had worked so hard to build up. Rogel Dorn totally lost his shit, but Siggy, being the absolute mad lad he was, straight up handed his sword to his old man and went, all right, just kill me, I'm trash now. Dorn obviously declined and instead disowned him by banishing him to die on a suicide mission on Mars.
The Red Planet.
But remember, this is Sigismund we're talking about, the man who eats pain for breakfast. Not only did Siggy crush it, but he somehow managed to undisown himself. Turns out, his trip to Mars was less banishment and more of a side quest. Rogel Dorn then declared him the Emperor's fucking champion and summoned him back during the Siege of Terra.
Good.
He was given one mission and one mission only, to hunt down every single Chaos champion. He took that quest, and ran with it like a Twitch streamer on a speed run. One duel after another, the Lords of Chaos fell. At the Battle of Terra, things got so wild that it looked like Sigismund was about to end chaos itself. The bloodbath was real, except for one little slippery snake that managed to escape, Abaddon.
Ugh. You know what? And look, I know Flash Kits recently, or the creators of Flash Kits, same creators of Spice King, recently did a lore video on the 20 most dumb reboots. I miss making fun of Abaddon. Lord Phaladon!
After the Horus Heresy, Abaddon launched Black Crusade after Black Crusade against the...
Yes, okay. Yeah, actually, those 12 Crusades were actually a success. No. You just got lucky. Okay? Number 13, there you go.
Imperium. And of course, who was there to constantly ruin his day? The Black Templars. Eventually, Abaddon ran into Siggy, who was still kicking after 1,000 years, and the two fought. By this time, Abaddon was juiced to the gills with warp energy, but even with these overpowered buffs, he still couldn't beat Sigismund. Then Siggy saw his opening and yeeted his black sword right into his chest. GG, right?
Good.
Wrong. Abaddon hit him with the ultimate hacks and just tanked the blow, and he used that distraction to finally kill Sigismund. Even though Sigismund's epic saga ends with him getting memed out of existence by Abaddon's plot armor, the Black Templars didn't exactly hit the brakes. Instead, they cranked it up to max and kept the crusade going for the next 10,000 years. And when I say crusade, I mean they were out there slaughtering everything. Eldar, Chaos, Tau, Orcs, pretty much anything that didn't bow down and praise the Emperor's holy saliva.
Anything that's different. As it should be.
The Black Templars are one of the rarer chapters that worship the Emperor of Mankind as Space Jesus, even though the Emperor literally says not to do that. These guys are so devoted that they're practically sucking off the Golden Throne, so much so that they've even rejected the concept of the Premier Space Marines. You see, they viewed these new and superior soldiers as an insult to the Emperor's original creations. To them, the Primaris weren't...
Well, wait. I know the High Marshal took them, but there was a small subsection of the Black Templars that did not.
Just new recruits. They're a blasphemous twist on the classic recipe. It's like throwing pineapple on pizza. If Big E were to resurrect from his eternal nap, he'd probably vaporize the entire chapter just to prove a point about not putting him on a divine pedestal. But it gets juicier. Not only are they basically walking heretics, they're also galactic-level racists. These guys follow the Imperial Creed to the letter, and that means they hate traitors, Xenos, mutants, basically anyone who doesn't fit into their perfect human mold.
I have no problem with this.
They'll brutally hunt you down in space genocide fashion. The Black Templars are also infamous for giving the Codex Astartes the big old middle finger. They happily defy the sacred text, which states a chapter may only have 1,000 battle brothers. The Templars exploit a loophole by splitting up on separate crusades across the galaxy, keeping their numbers ambiguous enough to make a conspiracy theorist proud. Here's the kicker. Nobody really knows how many Templars are out there. The exact size of their chapter is a mystery, leading to wild rumors that if they all gathered in one place, they'd rival the original Space Marine legions. Therefore, they are probably one of the most powerful Space Marine chapters in terms of numbers. You can see why the Inquisition's keeping a close eye on them.
Well, the Inquisition needs to mind its own business and shut the hell up. I believe that they're 8,000 strong. They could be 8,000, maybe 10,000 strong. 10,000's a stretcher there, but I think it could be that.
Oh, and get this, because they're too busy on their cosmic road trip, the Black Templars decided to skip out on a homeworld. Yep, the toughest Space Marine chapter in the galaxy is essentially homeless. But can you really blame them? With today's mortgage rates and the cost of living skyrocketing across the Imperium, even the Emperor's finest have to make tough decisions. Instead, they've embraced that van life, cruising through the stars aboard their crusade fleets like some heavily armed spacefaring nomads. It keeps them flexible, mobile, and ready to seek out the enemies of the Emperor like a pack of vigilante road warriors. The Black Templars are not organized like a typical Codex compliant chapter. At the top, you've got the High Marshal, aka the Big Cheese, the head honcho, the Space Marine version of the President. He calls the shots for the whole chapter.
Chapter Master.
While each crusade is run by a marshal who's chosen in the most civilized way possible, ritual combat. Below these iron-fisted leaders are the castellans, who are essentially in charge of babysitting the cannon fodder. They command the fighting companies, which are a mix of veterans, initiates, and neophytes. Unlike other Space Marine chapters, the Templars mix neophytes, who are essentially newbies, into squads of fully initiated Space Marines to teach them the ways of battle. That way they have a role model to learn from.
Good.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's any specific 40K lore, topics, or conversations you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to drop a comment below.
And I agree. Now, first of all, I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but that the Emperor, or not the Emperor, but when Guilliman did arrive, he actually had to play a game of politics with High Marshal Helbrecht, who talks like that. I got to be careful using that voice. Talking like this all the time. Yes, Helbrecht. So he spoke with Helbrecht, and they actually had a game of politics to where, yes, the High Marshal did agree to join in with Guilliman's Dominus Crusade, I believe. And there's just only a small sub-faction of the Black Templars that actually killed their Primaris Space Marine battle brothers. So if they were 8,000 strong before big old G, Rebuti Guilliman, woke up, with Primaris Space Marines, they probably boosted up their numbers even more so. So if we have an expert in the chat, a loyal follower of Guilliman-Dorn, how many Space Marine Black Templars exist currently now, at least to your best guesstimation? Don't rat out to the Inquisition, of course. But hey, I like this video. And first of all, again, you know, I one criticism. The Black Templars have never did anything wrong ever. So how dare you? And not to mention, you know, it's pretty cool to be Emperor's Champion. Emperor's Champion is #1. And of course, how could we all forget the Warhammer 40K movie that made things happen, and that was Hell's Reach. Seems like an innocent time when that animated film came out. Done by a fan, by the way, not by Games Workshop. Remember that, hotshot.